We are built for relationship with God and relationship with other people. That's just how He wired us, how He built us. And it's the most primal and important, integral part of who we are, to love and to be loved. And God has called us to be part of a community of people. He calls it a body. He calls it a family. Really, that's what the church is. We're a community of believers who come together. And I'm so glad that God puts us into a family, because there's a lot of times in life when we really need each other. And I want to talk to you just for a minute today about a story in the Bible. And it's actually recorded in 3 of the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And in each of the Gospels, it says the same thing. And it's really, really cool how it says this. So the story's like this. Jesus is speaking. He's preaching in a meeting, and it's so crowded and so packed in there that there are people who have come and they can't get in. And so there's these 4 men who have carried their crippled friend to Jesus, but they can't get in because the crowd is just so thick they can't get into Jesus. And so what they do is they actually cut a hole in the roof and they lower their friend down to Jesus. Now, in every account of this story, it says when Jesus saw their faith. And we would think it would be when Jesus saw his faith, right? The man who was crippled, who came to him to be healed. But no, it says when Jesus saw their faith, the faith of his friends who came together, who pushed through, who persevered to get their friend to Jesus. And so as I was thinking about this, I thought, who is it in your life that you would actually carry to Jesus? Who is it that you care about enough that you would bring them to Jesus when they need it? Because sometimes we don't have enough faith for ourselves, but we can have faith for each other. And I know that life hasn't always been easy for me. And there's been times when I've needed a friend to pick me up and carry me to healing, to pick me up and carry me to Jesus. When I couldn't believe for myself, when I didn't have enough faith for myself, I had friends who would step in and pray with me and lead me back to Jesus. And so I just think it's so important to understand this aspect of community. There's been times when I've needed someone to carry me. I've been times when I needed someone to pray for me. Times when I needed someone to speak life over me when I couldn't figure it out for myself. Times when people would just speak scripture and truth, or just come in and be such a support in my life. We need each other. And God has wired us so that we do need each other. We're not meant to be isolated and doing life on our own. We're meant to be doing it together. So I just want to leave you with that question today, this thought. Who do you care enough about to carry? Who is part of your community?